Waiting to buy a home? The Churchill Mortgage team says now is a great time to buy. Waiting could be a costly mistake because when rates drop, new home buyers will flood the market, driving up home prices. Go to churchillmortgage.com for your free analysis and see how home values can outpace rates to help you build wealth over time faster. This is a paid advertisement. NMLS ID 1591. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender. 1749 Mallory Lane, Suite 100, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027.
So, let's see about this little opportunity here. I wonder if it's similar to the ones I already got. Alright, it's not bad, but then again, I don't know, $25 an hour is the cost of living these days. And I'm going to have to see how everything just all measures out. Stuff kind of chips away. Now, maybe if I don't do anything here that week, and then for the next week, go ahead and accumulate a little bit of disposable income, and then maybe be able to go ahead and offset some of these gas prices by working remotely, and then seeing if that is an option too. Yes. But then again, it sounds like it's not a bad deal. It's just a deal that I'm going to have to honor if I go for it. But anyway, we got something new coming up right now because I got to go ahead and do what I do every Wednesday night. On average, welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio!
Help spread love and feel the joy of giving back. During the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event at Beardmore Subaru, Subaru will donate $250 to the charity of your choice for every new Subaru purchased or leased. The ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the National Park Foundation, the Housing Foundation of Sarpy County, or Offutt Air Force Base's Airman's Attic. Plus, we will give an additional $100 locally to help even more. Go to BeardmoreSubaru.com to learn more. Submit charity selection by 1/12/24. Promotion ends 1/2/24. See Subaru.com for more details.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey, what's going on, J360 Legion? How are you all doing tonight? Welcome back to the J-Man Show for episode 244. Part of the triple play deal you guys are getting this week. And let me tell you this, right? I'm very excited to do this. There's no place I'd rather be right now than to go ahead and do this show for you guys. And not to mention those that like to come in and say, no, we want to hate watch you. We want to hate listen to your radio station. And, you know, I'm here for that too, I suppose. Believe me, some people are so bold nowadays, they'll tell you just about anything to try to get a rise out of you. And I don't have to go ahead and point out like all the crazy stuff that happens in this country alone with that sort of vibe and feeling. But, you know, that's the thing. I'm paying the price by just going ahead and being a content creator every time. And, you know, that target gets bigger seemingly every year. But people know this stuff because, you know, once again, it's not that people could actually do things on their own. People are just putting a lot of money and a lot of time and energy into what they can't do. So they go ahead and they try to hold that over your head and try to make your life miserable if you let them. And the thing about it is, I've been so used to it for a long time. It doesn't bother me much. It's just, I'm amazed that, you know, even at 35, it still goes on. But, hey, keep in mind, I only talk from my experiences, you know. And speaking of experiences, we're going to talk about them today. Because I remember telling you guys about that on the mini bite the other day, you know, like how crazy it is, how like the human nature of things. And the most anybody wants to talk about is these crazy gas prices. But yeah, see, that's nothing new because it happens every year. And the fact that over there in CA, it's like, what, $6 at the pump? You know, yeah, that's painful. Because I'm looking over here in DE right now, and we're scraping that $5 barrier. But you see, the thing about it is like, you know, you can blame anybody you want to. I think, if anything, you should go ahead and look at these U.S. oil companies and the OPEC and all that issue right there. Not to mention, like, the whole crazy thing that's going on with Russia right now, you know, because Russia don't even have a McDonald's. Isn't that crazy? But that's somebody's job, though, you know? And I'm sitting there looking at all of that stuff, and I'm like, oh, my God. Hey. Cut this crap off right off the bat. No need for this. I don't know exactly how Putin's going to pull himself out of this mess because, like, if anything, he started this crap. And there's got to be something in that land. There's got to be something. This is like a big retail scheme if you think about it. Like, you know, real estate scheme. Like, there's something. He just wants that land. He wants that whole area for some reason. It can't just be the Chernobyl plant, and it just can't be. Which, by the way, they need to keep an eye on that. I heard that was off of its power grid. Man, ain't got time for that, you know. Jeez, just don't care. But you know what really gets me? People need to quit trying to reason with this man and do something about it because much like certain narcissists that live in this country, he doesn't care. And I don't know why people try to reason with people like this. You cannot reason with morons, and you also cannot reason with narcissists that try to play the game and put you in a Xanatos gambit, you know? Little things like that. Oh, he already beat you as soon as you walked in the door, you know? Like little things like that. It's so sad. No, it's not sad. It's pathetic. The fact that all that stuff's going on. But yeah, let me just say this, you know. I always got to pay attention to what's going on because this is history in the making. And, you know, where we go from here, well, I'll tell you. We got to stay resilient. You got to stay strong for the Ukraine people. And if you are able to, and if you're willing to donate, there are places that you can donate. Hopefully, like, it goes right to the people and not in somebody's pocket. So you got to pay attention, do your research on all the things you want to do to actually help out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, really pay attention because there are people who find this stuff and they will go and make an agenda that is more self-serving than actually helpful. And see, that's my whole thing, because me and Mark have talked about it a lot on Hangouts and SOTA, which, by the way, we managed to get another SOTA done, and that should be coming along soon. But, you know, as it is, but people complain about the littlest and dumbest things. Like, you know how, like, now there's no mask mandates, but people still found a way to complain about that? So, because the gas prices, and they're looking at all the gas prices, they're like, oh, you know, this is what happened, we had Electro Biden, this, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Look at the U.S. oil companies. They made some pretty good money to sit on, and they're paying shareholders. They could go ahead and lower that stuff down if they wanted to, but they're not going to. And then, you know, one of my friends was talking about the Keystone Pipeline, and for some reason didn't understand, like, why that was a hazard. So, I don't get it. We can point fingers at anything, but here's the thing, okay? A lot of y'all complain because you want to go back to your old life. You want to go back to your old life the way it was before COVID and BLM and all that kind of stuff, where things really made sense for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get that. I totally understand it. You know, on one hand, I try to think, like, I'm trying to remember what my life was before all that. About the same. I mean, I still did the shows and all that stuff. I didn't do jams until, like, you know, 2020, but still at the same time, I'm like, do I really want to go back to that entirely? No. And you want to know why? I would like to see what the alternative track would have been like if there was no COVID or anything. And, you know, I still managed to graduate and I still managed to get all that stuff done. But I was still in college and stuff, you know, going back to the old ways of doing things. Not to mention, like, you know, dealing with crap jobs and all that kind of stuff. So there's some crazy things about it. Like, see, right now, being a little bit more resilient, being a little bit more responsible and wiser with, you know, the income and not disposing it everywhere, like building up wealth, time and all. So I managed to learn a lot of responsibility during the time of COVID and all, you know, outside of my usual ways of being responsible. And no, this is not ego stroke. This is just saying how, you know, learning to survive a little bit smarter. You understand? That's what you need to do. And see, sometimes going back to the old way, was the old way really that enjoyable to you? Now think about it. Like really think about it. Because, see, some of y'all had problems even before all this stuff started. So I'm kind of wondering, was the old way really best way for you? You know what I mean? Like, say, like, if you had, you know that you had a big bill coming, and you know that you had things to handle, but you see certain things happen and that stuff slowed down. and then you weren't able to do anything with that bill, or you probably had no intention of paying it, so you lived a lavish lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. There's, like I said, there are people that actually thrived off of all of our times of staying inside of our houses and stuff. Think about it. There are people that did. They didn't want it to end. But I always wonder, it's like, was old way really best way? Because some of y'all didn't have to do certain things. You know what I mean? Like, some people didn't stay responsible during all of this. So it's little things to really think about sometime. And you'll know the ones because they're the ones that complain all the time. They will come right out of the woodwork. They will chime in. They will complain about, I don't see it's going anyway. That's the new normal. I don't see, I had this, I had that. It's like, okay, get this, all right? Part of honoring the deal is this. In a way, they kind of made a deal with us on a few things, all right? But we all knew, like, when you put 100% dependency on the government, you're screwed anyway. But at the same time, when you start to really take a look at certain things that you don't need, like, okay, like going out and going to parties and all that kind of stuff, that's not bad. But when you do it too much and you realize it's messing with your income a little bit, that's a problem, right? Think about it. Like, doesn't that mess with your cost of living a little bit more? And I mean, some of us want to do it. We want to show off all the time. We want to show, like, our potential bay that we are, top of the town and all that kind of stuff. Of course, it didn't work for Jay Gatsby, but why the hell wouldn't it work for you, right? Little things like that. Or like, of course, like, yeah, I don't have no responsibility. I ain't got anything to worry about. And also, those people that sponge off other people. Yeah, I used to know somebody like that until I threw him out of the group. And I happily did because I was waiting to oust his ass. And I'll tell you that story another time. But then again, I probably told it to you guys on the power play. But, yeah, so there's been a lot of that, And uncertainty. Uncertainty everywhere. Like, people are wondering, like, when's the next big payola? Like, when's the next big stimulus? Or is student loans going to be canceled? Well, once again, student loans is more or less like, your credit card bill, your rent, and all that stuff. Like, rent is ridiculous. I don't know where that goes now. But the thing about it is I always pay attention to it. Like, okay, so certain things that you can't spend money on, That's why I always say on jams, it's like, if you have the ability to do this. All right? See, some of y'all have to go back to square one on a few things. And I know there's some people in your friends group or there's some people in your family that don't want to go back to square one, but you're going to have to really let them know about it. Otherwise, they're going to have to get out and fend for themselves. And the truth is that, like, there are a lot of places hiring, but once again, be aware of the hiring practices that surround you. Just like how in the cold open, I was looking at this deal right here, and it seems like a pretty good deal, but once again, I'm only human, and I got to have time to myself too, so I got to figure out, like, okay, can this work with the workload I already have? You understand what I'm saying? And once you make that commitment and jump that threshold, you got to honor the deal. And I say that a lot because, see, a lot of people don't honor the deal, especially outside of, you can blame COVID if you want to. You can blame Black Lives Matter. You can blame, God, we got so many problems in this part of the world. You can blame all of them on that if you need to, but once again, you got to honor the deal. You got to get stuff done. And, like, there are times where it's like, I'm too busy to do certain things because, my old life, I don't want to go back to it. I want to evolve as a person. I want my newer life. I'm already great, but I want to be like 10 times more awesome than that. So I'm investing in playing this game a little bit smarter. Yes, I am going to the richest state in the union, but the thing about it is I can play that smart too. And the truth is that I am getting all my ducks in a row, and you all should get your ducks in a row. You all should go for the things that you want, but the thing about it is you got to be patient, tactical, and strategize this whole thing through. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are in panic mode. A lot of people are having trauma. A lot of people are having this and that. And not to say that you shouldn't go through it. You should learn how to grieve. You should learn how to let that stuff flow out instead of trying to choke it off, because, choking it off, it makes it come back in a different form and probably at a point where you don't need it to come back. Trust me, I know. Having anger problems for a long time kind of dealt with that. And not only that, dealing with the woman who gave me life ignoring me during times when I needed her. That was one hell of a trip. And to this day, like, we're on better terms now, but I'm gonna tell you this, right? Dealing with that kind of storm Made me a lot more resilient and resourceful and everything. So in a way, I got to be somewhat grateful, but at the same time, that was a lot of pain. And the truth be told, she listens to this show and she knows who I'm talking, who and what I'm talking about. I mean, she showered my nephew, you know what I mean, with lots of gifts and everything, but she ousted me for some reason, you know? And not only that, I got in a lot of fights a lot. So in the daytime, if I'm not fighting the other kids at school, at nighttime, I'm dealing with negligent behavior. You understand what I'm saying? And I hope that there wasn't a bridge between them, but if there was, you know, at least I never got ignored in school. But look, the thing about it is that the reason why I bring that up to you is, like, you know, resilience. I had to carry myself through it. And the truth be told, I didn't have, like, you know, doctors. I didn't have, like, all those kind of therapists and all that stuff, you know, or people to actually talk to like that. You know, I had to really figure myself out on my own a little bit. My dad helped, but, you know, at the same time, you know, he did what he could. But see, the thing about it is that, you know, I also was trying to reach for, you know, maybe something that was too great for me. Maybe, you know, my mom's love was just too expensive for me at the time because it was robbing me of peace. It was robbing me of times where I was like, you know, I really need to get through this nonsense. And, you know, I don't have time for a lot of things. A long time ago, yeah, that's what it used to be like. See, nowadays, she's trying to be friendly at points, and then, like, she goes ahead and tries to give me advice on things. And I think she learned a lesson about that kind of stuff. But you see, the thing is that, you know, it was hard at first. And not only that, I had to take care of myself on things. Like, if I lost a job, chances are I went in and I went after another job. And I remember one time when I had to move back in and I had to, you know, like, really had to regroup and all that stuff. I never really paid attention to anything she said. I was just so busy focused on, like, working on other things so I can get the hell out. And then I always still had J360 Productions to do, and not to mention, like, responsibilities, like, such as honoring deals and not taking things for granted. So, you know, I had a lot of tests at my point. And the same thing goes for a lot of you. You all will be tested throughout all of this stuff to see exactly what's going to shape you and mold you. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of just worrying about getting the old life back, why don't we just get a better one? You see what I'm saying? And see, that's when I moved back in. I mean, I'm at a different spot in all sorts of things these days, but, you know, it's not the end-all, be-all, and making different changes on other stuff, too. But, you know, it's just, it was one hell of a mountain to climb. And the same can be said for, like, those of you that went through different lifestyles. The only thing I would know about is my own experiences. But, yeah, so started doing a bunch of other side jobs here, and, like, this particular event videography job right here, I'm doing that season again, so that's going to be fun, you know. But once again, like, if anything else, to prove my salt and everything, I have to show and honor the deal, and I have to show up, I have to be there, I have to go through the rough moments, I have to go through storms and sunny days. Like, we all love sunny days. Sunny days and fair weather is great, right? Like, you know, we all go out there, we enjoy ourselves, we party it up. Yeah, we hope it never ends. But you see, the thing about it is, and you'll know this from your social group and your family and all that stuff, but you see, storms are great too. And I'm going to tell you why. I should play Storms Are Coming by Space Force and, oh my God. That takes me back, man. Those two guys were awesome, you know? Actually, yeah, what happened to Cyboggin? Well, yeah. You know what? I'll hear from him again soon, but yeah, I should play Storms Are Coming. But you know what? You should dance in the rain as well as lay out in the sun. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, those hard days are going to teach you a lot. Like, you know, such as, like, the moment where you should have money together and stuff, because as long as you got that, you're building shelter over it to keep you away from all the problems. Now, will it cover everything? Probably not. But at the same time, you had it there. You know, rainy day funds, all that kind of stuff, that's really important. And, you know, like, I'm not trying to take away your fun or anything, but a lot of people don't want to be responsible for stuff anymore. Unless it, of special interest or really, what do you say, stretches the ego, pushes the clout, all that kind of stuff. Hey, I donated to Ukraine today. What did you do? Keep myself out of the poor home. Really focus on trying to get myself together, because if I don't save myself, how the hell am I going to save anybody else? Oh, that's selfish. Yeah, blow that your ass. That's what I say to all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, like I said, I would love to help them, and you know what? I helped them out in my best way I can, but at the same time, it's like this. You don't need to bankrupt yourself. See, too much altruism is bad, because you got to help yourself too. It's just like how some people think, oh, if you spend $400, companionship ends. Yeah, you spend $400, it ends for one night. Maybe. But see, some people will take their $400, they won't invest it in themselves to grow from. They'll take their last $400 and pay it to any of these internet e-girls and stuff. Which, I say this a lot. I'm like, yeah. So, that one shot of love, right? But rent and all that other stuff is due, right? I mean, I think there was a story of a guy who actually spent all that money either to go after one of those Twitch streamers, and she gladly took the money, but homeboy was out on the street. Now, what do we call that? Do we call it resilience? No. Do we call it honoring the deal? Well, I mean, he followed through, but still not in the same way as I'm teaching y'all tonight. No. See, when it gets right down to that, I believe in love. I believe in it. Love is hard. Love's not easy. And if it's in that kind of exchange, that's not love. That's just a special night. And even then, the peace of mind is you ain't got no money left over so you can live for you. So, yeah, you know what that means, right? You're assed out. You played the simp game to the point where there ain't nothing bankable there. And the e-girl that is, well, she trotted off somewhere, and somebody else is funding her trip to the Keys and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. And keep in mind that whole story and scenario there can happen to anybody. Like I said, just know what the hell the money that you're accumulating and what you're paying for. If it was me and my last $500, let me just say this. We're going to flip the money, but that money is going to me. I keeps my money. You understand what I'm saying? Got to keep roof over head. Got to make life livable. Things like that. But people forget. And yeah, we're going into some crazy times. I get it. The inflation. It don't make no sense, right? So allegedly, we're supposed to be recovering from COVID, only to get faced with all that other stuff outside. And all these things around us, right? They could limit inflation. They could cut that stuff down. But I do know this. Like, I mentioned this with Al the other day. Like, some retail companies did get raises. And as they should. They should get the livable wage. Those of us that work anyway, we should get the cost of living and meet that. But once again, it's all about hiking up and what the percentage of it is. So you wonder what all the inventory is going to cost now inside that store. You wonder exactly how you're going to make all this stuff tie up together. But here's the thing. If you have hope, resolve, and you pay attention to what you spend on, cut this stuff out and everything, you'll be fine. And then if you go do side hustles, or if you go work in like somebody's independent company, or you go work in any sort of independent firm, things might be a little funny at first, but still at the same time honor the deal, show up, get it all taken care of, and then finish the job. And now a lot of y'all probably ask me this, hey J-Man, what if it's a bad job? Okay, well if it's a bad job and you still signed your name on it, you got to see it to the end. Because if not, it's a breach. And the thing is, you're going to have to pay some restitution and some costs that go with that. Maybe to that company and everything else, if contracts work like they're supposed to. And they'll get it one way or another because, small claims court and all that stuff, they're going to get their money. Because, hey, there's a lot of time wasted on this resource here. When at the same time, if you realize all that stuff stacked against you, and some of y'all might be brave enough to countersue, it is what it is. But wouldn't it be better if you just followed through on this thing? Knocked it out. You still would have got paid anyway, even if it was hell. But once again, like I said before, there ain't no amount of hell that could really beat me down compared to the issue I had with my mom way back when. And a lot of headache would have went by if she just zipped her lip and left me alone on a few things. Not to mention, the only time she would talk to me would be with negativity, and I was like, leave me alone. And I used to let her know that. I liked it better when she didn't think I was going to amount to anything. Actual quote from me. But you see, the thing is, I also believe in myself, so kind of like when I deal with people that have a problem with me. If you have a problem with me, you better say something about it, because I ain't stopping. And even if you did tell me about it, I would go ahead and use your suggestion to warm my house at night as I keep going and making wins. And that's how you need to be sometimes. You have to be the most popular person in the group. You have to be the hardest working one. You have to be the one that holds it together. It's kind of like when people in my team will find an excuse not to do anything. Oh, and don't worry. You see, the thing is, that's natural. Everybody has an excuse why they don't want to do anything. Oh, see, that's why I don't stream. Oh, see, that's why I don't feel comfortable talking on cameras. Yeah, see, that's why I don't feel like... I don't give a damn. Let's save some time and energy. I don't give a damn. Doesn't apply to me. As a lead of this firm, I do all that stuff where you go ahead and say, oh, that's why I don't. Like you won a medal or something. But you see, I'm honoring the deal. I'm honoring the deal with you guys and the J360 Legion by doing this triple play this week, whereas other people are sitting on the bench because, well, hey, it's so easy to be a bystander, right? It's so easy to be on the outside looking in and making judgments instead of being an active participant. But you see, active participants, they get all the spoils. And like when I start pulling more and more wins, it's me in the picture, and it ain't anybody else. So, that's the funny part about it. But you see, at that point, then they all start to try to do the Ron Weasley thing back in, like, Goblet of Fire when he was jealous at Harry? Yeah, then y'all want to play that game. You should be there from the get. And as I go ahead and I tell you guys these stories, like, I just had to soldier through. I had to soldier through a lot of people. I had to soldier through, like, somebody that tried to say, oh, I exposed their life on a documentary, when at the same time, that person signed a contract allowing me to do so, and also begged me to be on the damn documentary. I still have it right here in my folders. Like... It even says at the bottom, like, when you sign this contract, you are not allowed to interrupt where the film or showcase is being exhibited. And not only that, this particular documentary was being shown right where it was intended to be shown, at the State Institution of Unemployment, because the documentary dealt with unemployment. But because somebody in the street that knew her and her boyfriend or something like that, whatever, stuff that doesn't concern J-Men, saw that, she got offended and all this other stupid stuff. It's like, I can only imagine if I was filming like an action movie with that particular person. But this person was supposed to be a, quote, friend of mine too. Nah, she was an associate at best. And she's also one of those people that I happily cut off. I don't have time for dysfunctional ass people. Especially like when I can do bad by myself, and not only that, when you sign a release form, especially when you're on film, when you're on TV and stuff like that, honor the damn deal. See it to the end. It might be a pretty good piece. It might actually be an enjoyable presentation. And you want to know the funny part is, all the stuff that she complained about didn't happen in the actual final print. So you take your moment to laugh at that. I laugh about it all the time. Because, like, you see that there are people out there that willfully look for reasons to be offended. And there are people out there that are, quote, your friends, but they'll do whatever they can to try to bamboozle your growth and where you want to be at. They'll try to defame you in public. Like, I could have happily sued her ass if I really wanted to. And the thing about it is, I was like, I took pity. But that'd be the last time I ever take pity. Stuff like that, you could get sued over. You don't get to defame people, their company, and all that kind of stuff because they're doing what they're supposed to do. When I work with my charges, or when I work with people in the Jam Fam, J360 Legion, or anything, or if I see, like, you're another creative going through something, drop the ego BS. I'm going to work with you because I see something in you. And the thing about it is, it's like, I remember some people thinking I was kind of hard on Al sometimes, and I'm like, you know what? Because that guy is supposed to be on the same keel as me. And the same thing would be with Mondo and anybody else. You're on the same keel with me. We need to go through this as a team, not as a bunch of, you know what I mean? Not as a bunch of separate agents and all that kind of stuff. No, not at all. Team effort, team win, focus as one group. We're like part of a crew, and we're also like part of a kitchen crew and all that, you know? Like, say, like, if we were all, like, working on the line together, which, yeah, depending on, like, how big the feature is and stuff, you gotta work together as a team. Now, I'm not saying that y'all should date each other and go home, swap spit, and all that kind of stuff. No. But at the end of the day, work together. Contracts, you know, are made for that kind of stuff. It protects the company, and it protects you. And not only that, all players need to be involved. Which is why, like, when I look at my current job where I'm at, and I see, like, the organization that I keep an eye on tries to sneak stuff through, I'm usually right there to slap them on the wrist and tell them, hey, this ain't going to happen. Honor the deal. Follow through on this. Make this work out. Cut the effing BS. Do what is asked of you. Listen to the director and listen to the producer too. And stop causing a whole bunch of strife. See, some of us thrive in chaos, but, you know, hey, what's more chaotic than a film set, right? Get stuff done. See, film is interesting because film is one of those mediums where, you know, you lose money and make money at the same time. And chances are you're losing a lot faster than you're making. Just like when I was talking to Alan, I was like, yeah, well, let's see, what does streaming make in contrast to the original box office? You know? But you see, I also forgave Al for a lot of his shortcomings. I also forgave, like, a lot of people for their shortcomings when I worked with them. Because I tend to attract a lot of broken people. But you see, some said broken people become better people after I worked with them and helped them along the way. Whereas others are still resentful, and, you know, just because I'm doing this show with you guys, they're pretty offended by that. And I don't give a damn. Be offended. Stay on that perch. Stay the hell out of my way, because I purposely threw you out. For a reason. I don't tolerate that stuff. Like, say, like, if we have a live concert, and I would love to see a live concert get made for, like, J360 Jams. And we all have a good time with it. I don't want to go in the back, see you look like, you know, one of those all ragged, haggardly and stuff like that, and you know damn well you ain't ready for showtime. I don't want to see it. I will cut you off, and I will not look back. And I have every right to do so. Now, at the point about contracts on that right there, don't you worry, I have a reason that talks about misconduct. See? You got to be willing to work with people. And you see, when it's your time to shine and you blow that opportunity, whether it's an opportunity I give you or an opportunity anybody gives you, okay, the way you represent yourself really does matter. You don't follow through on it with respect, you ain't going to get no more. If you go ahead and you speak and be like, well, I can't work with this opportunity right now, but when you have another one, I'll be all ears. You know, things like that. That's fine. At least, like, you know, you're communicating. Now, the problem is, like, when some people have that first opportunity for you and you piss on it, it ain't coming back. You understand? It's kind of like when people try to tell me about, like, oh, we promote the show, you know, the alerts, they I don't have time to care about your alerts. Your alert's your responsibility. If you want to help me and the brand grow, you know, pass it on to your friends. Good word of mouth. Follow through on press. It's very important. Obviously, I'm growing this thing because, you know, I believe in it. And not only that, I'm a job creator. And with the way things are looking, you'd need a company like mine too. And the thing is, I don't feel bad about it. I have no regrets in promoting my stuff, especially when I'm at the forefront of it. And I do it for all the right reasons. And not only that, when y'all complain about stuff like that, it makes you look pretty bad. I'm not over there looking and seeing what you're doing or who you're sleeping with or who you're cheating on with and all that kind of crap. I don't care. I'm promoting my stuff. My material goes first, especially when it comes to all this social stuff. You can help people grow or you try to shut people down. And I don't know what the hell's going on up there in that brainstem of yours, but I could care less. It's all about helping people grow. And nowadays, like, this isn't about me and mine. This is about, you know, hey, let's all work together at some point. Get over each other's ego and stuff. It would be a lot better. And then, like, when things get stable, which would probably be like 2030, but considering our track record, no damn time soon, I think at the end of the day, you know, we got to start being a tribe. See what I'm saying? And that is the way it looks on the outside of the tribe that I have. The tribe that I have is pretty cool. I'm not going to knock them. There are moments where, like, you know, things get a little, you know, teeth clenched. But at the same time, it's like all walks of life. And then you got to figure out how somebody's wired and stuff like that. And if you are wired a certain way, don't worry, I'll fix your attitude for you. God knows you ain't going on that stage acting like this. I've seen enough of it. Well, actually, to be fair, much like the rest of you, I've seen nothing yet. Because even with all this stuff going on regarding Russia and Ukraine, or regarding like all the things that are happening here at the war at home, that's what we're going to call it, here at the war at home, we haven't seen anything yet. Things are going to get real interesting as we go on throughout 2022 and beyond. But once again, got to stay resilient, got to honor the deals, got to remember some parties even J-Man doesn't go to. So if you guys need that, you know, like, just remember there's some parties J-Man doesn't go to. I'm not trying to fit in when I'm here to stand out. And not only that, you know, what with all these other narratives being thrown around and stuff, aren't you kind of going against that stuff if you're trying to stifle my whole thing? Isn't that funny, though? How that works out. Paints a negative look on you, doesn't it? It's one of them little things. But, you know, that's me saying that with a big-ass smile on my face because I already know I beat you at that point. Because I still was going to go on anyway. And you know what? All of us are able to go ahead and get those limelights and those A-lists if we really wanted them. But when you put it in the hands of other people and stuff like that, that's where you messed up. So, anyway, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just here to let you guys know that, once again, honor the deals that are around you. Pay attention to what's here. And just because it's like this doesn't mean it has to be the end-all, be-all. We're all, you know, we all can make to greater things. We all can actually lift ourselves up from where we need to be. And, you know, sometimes maybe we need this little pause. Maybe we needed, like, things to kind of slow down a bit. Give us some perspective. Just saying. You know? And, of course, you know, as I'm dropping these truth bombs to you all, I got to get going. I got some more stuff I got to handle here because there's another side hustle I want to look at right quick, and the clock is ticking. But until then, though, I want you guys to take care of yourselves. There will be another J-Man Show episode coming tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be a lighter take on things, I'd like to think. But I really wanted to let you guys know, like, why you should stay in the game. Don't worry about stuff you have no control over. And just, you know, relax a little bit if you can. All right? We can start again. It's totally okay. All right? But till then, this is J-Man signing off. Take it easy.
Help spread love and feel the joy of giving back. During the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event at Beardmore Subaru, Subaru will donate $250 to the charity of your choice for every new Subaru purchased or leased. The ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the National Park Foundation, the Housing Foundation of Sarpy County, or Offutt Air Force Base's Airman's Attic. Plus, we will give an additional $100 locally to help even more. Go to BeardmoreSubaru.com to learn more. Submit charity selection by 1/12/24. Promotion ends 1/2/24. See Subaru.com for more details.